RenderForest.com. RenderForest.com.
Welcome to the Land Wars. I'm your host, Dre. With me, I have Frankie, Elijah the Great, and I got Sean Combs. Shaq isn't with us today. He tore his ACL. He couldn't be with us. He's recovering. But today we're gonna do a special. We're gonna do boom or bust. We're gonna get you the NFL recap, and we're gonna do an NBA special NBA preview. But first, and certainly not least, we're gonna do the boom or bust, which is from the 2017 and 2018 classes. I'm gonna give you a name. Y'all tell me if he boom or bust and why, if you can. First name, we got a player that most don't like. Certainly, he right here for me. Baker Mayfield. Sean, I'm gonna let you kick this one off real quick.
I'm kind of torn on Baker. I'm like in the middle. There's no boom or bust. I feel like only because of the coaching changes is the reason why I can't make a decision. Because under Stefanski, I would probably give him a boom, but those other two cats, nah.
Okay, I can rock with that. Elijah the Great, what you got?
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't call him a bust. I think he's better than a bust. I think he can be a boom. He's closer to boom from what I've seen this year. He's closer to boom. He just has a few hurdles he needs to get over. I would never call him a bust. Not right now.
Okay. Frankie.
I sadly I agree also because like you said, he's not so much a bust. He's had more offensive coordinators and coaches, than most people. But now, like you said, under Stefanski, I mean, we're 9-3 and he's been our quarterback, and he lit up last game. So he's looking leaning more towards a boom right now. We need a few more years. He's got his contract, I think, come up at the end of next year. They got to, decide to give him his fifth option or not. I think he's leaning more towards a boom though than a bust.
Okay. Next name we got in here is Sony Michel. He was that highly touted Georgia running back that came with Nick Chubb when they both decided to declare for the draft. Frankie, I'm gonna go reverse order. Frankie, you can go first on this one.
He was injured this year for the most part, and they kind of kept him out. But I'm actually gonna lean more towards a boom than a bust. He looked really good. He won me a fantasy league a couple years ago. Just saying. But the problem is he's in the Patriots, and they pick a running back to go off every week. So, but he's more towards a boom than a bust. I would say he's a bust. I think he's going to get the time that he needs, definitely in that backfield. So,
Elijah.
Man, I think when you consider where they got him at, I would say he's leaning towards boom. I mean, you can see the talent. You know what I'm saying? When it's his day, it's his day. He could take over a game when it's his day. He can absolutely take over a game. And they got him at 31. They didn't have to do nothing extra to get him. So I would say, yeah, more of a boom.
Okay, I can respect that. Sean, what's your opinion?
Hey, no disrespect to Sony Michel, but I'm going to bust here just because he plays on the Pats. The Pats do this every year. They get a good running back or multiple good running backs. Someone gets injured. Next man up. You ain't never going to come back to your regular rotation. So we don't want you to get your money. We're going to hold you back so we don't have to pay you. So no disrespect to Sony Michel. That's more of a diss towards the Pats. But just because he's on the Pats, it's a bust.
Okay. Now this quarterback, I think, in my opinion, he's I think it's team wise, but I'm gonna let y'all. This is why I'm the host, because I don't have to give my dull opinions. Frankie, in your opinion, Sam Darnold, boom or bust?
He shows flashes of being good, but as of right now, he's looking like a bust. And it sucks to say that, but I think Adam Gase ruined him. I think Adam Gase is the worst coach I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot because the Browns had Hugh Jackson for 2 years. Darnold is a completely ruined commodity, unfortunately. He had the talent coming out, but he's just been a train wreck. He looks indecisive some games. He makes terrible choices.
And if you look at his rookie year, his first year coming out, I think it's the first 4 games. I think he was doing good, but with the coaching implements and all that other shit, it's just he ruined them. I think if he get traded, maybe to like a team that like can build, say like the Steelers or the Patriots, I think he'll fit well with those systems. But now just Adam Gase is just one of the worst. Elijah.
Yeah, I think it's obvious, man. It's the organization that's around him that hurts him. But I mean, we gotta be honest. He's a bust right now. Absolutely a bust right now. His 3rd overall pick. You expect more, even when the organization is terrible, and it's sad because that puts way too much pressure on these kids before they're even ready to handle it. You know what I mean? You expect this guy to step into an organization with a terrible offensive line, no weapons, subpar weapons, inconsistent running game, or bad running game. What am I supposed to do? Just run around and hope somebody gets open? No. Then you look like Carson Wentz. That's different.
Better get on your Lamar Jackson. Get those scary feet.
I mean,
he's looking like a bust right now, and it's he hasn't really been given a fair shake.
Yeah, my man was seeing ghosts. 2 years ago, a year ago. I mean,
he's been seeing them ever since.
He's seeing them every game.
Man, Sean.
Oh yeah, I'm going to bust. Not only is it the organization, I just didn't like this guy when he came out. I thought the biggest college game of his career, he did terrible in that bowl game against Ohio State. He just looked terrible. I mean, pretty much every NFL game is going to be like that, and he just didn't show me that he had it. I didn't like him to start with.
And I was going to say the Mentor legend, Mr. Trubisky, but we all know, I think we all agree that he was going to be one of our busts. So instead of Mr. Trubisky, I'm going to go. I want y'all opinion on Kerryon Johnson, running back for the Lions. Do you consider him a boom or a bust? I mean, he had a few good years, but they got a running back by committee, just like the Pats. Frankie.
It's one of them. It's the Sony Michel effect because of Patricia. He has the ability to be good, like he really does. And like you saw, like I think it was Thanksgiving, he had a solid game, like PPR wise, all that. But AP was the lead back. But that's the thing, you're in a backfield with like 3-4 different backs now, so you can't like rely on being great. So I lean more towards the bust right now. Yeah, just the situation is what fucks him.
Okay, Elijah.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the case for him more than it is for Sonny Michel. To be honest, he's in a bad system for him. He could really be a bell cow back. You know what I'm saying? One of those type of guys. So yeah, he's a bust right now, but it's not completely his fault.
Okay. Sean.
All right. Last year before, this dude was a boom. Patricia came in, DeAndre Swift came in. I mean, he just took over like the Pats, running back by committee. 7 different backs back there. This guy was a boom. This year, he's more leaning towards bust.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Leonard Fournette. Sean, I'm gonna let you stay on this one. Boomer bust Leonard Fournette.
Man, I'm going bust. We haven't heard nothing about this guy since the Jags. Literally nothing. I'm going bust.
Yeah, man. His rookie season, he looked promising, but I think I'm away on this one. I think he had the potential, but like Elijah said, the organization I think failed him. I think they relied on the running back too much. They haven't had a decent quarterback. I mean, you can say Gardner, but Gardner is not close to being as good as they need. Elijah, what do you think?
It's tough with him because obviously he showed flashes of it, like that greatness that we expect from him. But when teams know how to stop him, and there's no other options besides him, what can you really do? He's going to look bad. However, in Tampa, he got, you get sent to a situation where there's two other backs, right? And now you're in a situation where you got to work and scrap to stay, on the field. You're not going to get 25 carries you used to. That's not happening. So, it's a bust. You got to be real about it. It's a bust. But, he could have been special. He could have been.
Yeah, and then going off
Might
of
still
what
be
you
too, to be honest. That you never know. But I think he had a few injuries, right?
yeah,
So
going off what you said though, with the working back to it, that man been a 5-star prospect out of high school. He was a Heisman finalist in college. That man, I know he knows how to work his ass off because he showed it. But with those, I'm gonna ask you this, Elijah, to ask you about your analysis. Do you think it's harder for him because he was, praised since what, grade school?
yeah, I think that does play a factor because the expectations are going to just automatically be super through the roof for you. You know what I'm saying? And then you come here and your first year is 1,000-yard season. We're like, okay, this dude's only going to trend up. So we start thinking about what you're supposed to be, what you should be, and he's just not quite there. And so it kind of is more of a knock on him. And that part isn't his fault. You know what I'm saying? I think how he handled it at times is his fault, but that part isn't his fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can get into that. Frankie, what you think about this?
So like you said, like he was like highly touted coming since high school, and at LSU, everyone was like, this dude's gonna be a god. Everyone thought he was the next AP, even they would even go as far as saying like, I saw him at LSU and he stiff armed that poor man to life. I remember that there's always that video of that dude, he stiff armed him straight to the ground and took off.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to be good at Jacksonville. He showed so much promise, but then injuries caught up with him, and now he's in an option. Now he's on a team where Arians doesn't really run the ball that much. They have to be forced to run the ball for them to be a good team.
Yeah.
The Arians, as long as he's ever run a team, he's always been air raid offense. That's why Brady's probably icing his shoulder weekly. But right now, like you said, I have to give an opinion. I start leaning more towards Bus because, dude, he's a great running back when healthy, which is not lately. He also can't catch out of the backfield, so that kind of diminishes you to one dimension. So
Mm-hmm.
in the NFL, you need to have hands nowadays. So
okay, well, Leonard Fournette, he had the early injuries. Another player who could be considered a bust if it keeps happening. Joe Mixon. Frankie, I'm gonna let you take this one off. But do the injuries does it affect the player's boom or bust?
yes, I absolutely do. But I really do think that because it's not fair to really label a guy who's struggling to just he happens to get nicked up every year. I mean, how many guys have like getting injured the entire contract of a team and then like go to another team and they explode and become a really good player for that team? The Browns have had multiple players I know done that. A prime example, Brashad Perriman. They drafted him. The Ravens drafted him first round pick. Everyone thought he was trash. He came to the Browns with Baker and he had a good year. And the Browns were ready to resign him, and then they traded for Odell and he went and got a contract somewhere else. But point is, like guys like that, I do absolutely think it plays a role in that. As for Mixon, I think he's still a boom. He's just having one bad year. I think he's trending more up, and especially how all that offense is with Burrow, they look really good. I think if they come back, Mixon's going to be back to his normal self of being 1,000-yard rushing back.
Okay. Elijah.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Boom. I'm gonna say Boom for right now. He passed the eye test, passed the numbers test. He just gotta, get over the little injury bug. You know, that just comes with working out, strengthening your body. You know what I'm saying? Preparing yourself to take those hits. You're gonna take them. You're a running back, so you're gonna take those hits, the contact. You just gotta make sure that doesn't catch up to him down the line. So now is the perfect time to get yourself fully in shape, get your body right. 'Cause that's
Yep.
really the most important thing when you play that position. Your body has to be together. But yeah, he's a boom. And I think, like Frank said, they're gonna come back next year. He's fully healthy, fully geared up and ready to go. Burrow looked really good. You restructure that line, you might have something. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a lot to look forward to with the talent they got.
Yeah, they're a team that's going to be exciting. If they can add to that defense this offseason, man,
Thanks.
AFC North might get all 4 teams in next year possibly. Sean, what do you think?
Joe Mixon, when he is healthy, he is definitely a boom. When he does come back, I don't think nothing will make him go towards a bust. I don't see the Bengals getting another running back and not give him his carries or anything like that, treating him like a Patriots back or nothing. It's just boom, trending up. When healthy, boom.
I can see that. Another player who's been the injury bug in these first 4 or 5 year players, man, is crazy. OJ Howard. I mean, he's time sharing with 2 other tight ends. Bruce Arians has always done that. But Sean, I'm gonna let you start off with this one. OJ Howard, boom or bust?
Right now, just based on this year, I'm gonna go bust. Past years with Jameis, boom. This year, bust.
Elijah.
I'm gonna say bust, but yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory with him. We've seen some magic out of him, some really big games. Dude's hands is crazy. Underrated blocker because he can block his ass off. But I don't know. I guess it is the system this year. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 other ends, so. But it's not looking like that. What I remember, it's not looking like that this year.
Yeah, man. His first 2 seasons, you would have thought he would have been like Hall of Fame worthy because he was hauling in passes, he was blocking his ass off. He was cut blocking. That man was even on special teams. He looked damn good.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just I hate to see it, but he's leaning right now towards bust. I mean, Frankie, what you think?
I think he needs to get his ass out of Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, there's a lot of teams that could use a tight end. And when he's healthy, like you said, the dude can get the ball. He's shown he can be 1,000-yard tight end. He can be like a top 5, top 7 tight end. I do believe that.
I agree.
But right now with the situation, you're there with Cameron Braid, who's he's not a bad player, and Gronkowski, he's Gronkowski. Yeah, he's also big. He's also Brady's favorite target. So, I mean, he's in that situation. So right now, I lean towards bust. But if he can get out of Tampa, man, watch out. He could be a dude who could revitalize his career.
Yeah. Going off that, I want to ask each of you a question. Okay, we're talking about bust, right? All right. Who's the worst quarterback bust? I'm gonna give you 2 players, okay? We all know about Jamarcus Russell, right?
Oof.
But I'm gonna name a player who I think could be worse than Jamarcus Russell. Top 3 pick too. Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
He was awful. He was terrible. Look, I mean, Jamarcus Russell. He didn't study his goddamn playbook, and he looked bad. Josh Rosen studied his shit and still looked horrible. That man was off three teams in 3 years. He was supposed to be one of the most highly anticipated quarterbacks of this generation. He was supposed to be the next Aaron Rodgers, from what I heard. Mel Kiper, Mel Kiper Jr., But who is the worst? Who's worse? Frankie, I'm gonna let you start this one off.
As much as you probably want me to say Josh Rosen, it's not. Jamarcus Russell's a trash can, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. Dude, on game days would drink Henny. He was 290 pounds as a quarterback. Dude should have been blocking for the other quarterback that was running with him. Dude, he was bad. I mean, he was up there as one of the most, like you said, coming out of college, he had the arm. He looked like he had the body. He was 6'6", 6'7". The dude turned himself into a fucking left tackle more than a quarterback, bro. Come on. There's Josh Rosen at least showed flashes of having, common sense, which it says a lot because he didn't do well with the playbook. Jamarcus Russell just showed up all fucked up and was just like, I'm the quarterback. I'm the Raiders, bro. Al Davis, rock on. And the Raiders probably hate themselves because there's like 9 other dudes in that draft that were way better than Jamarcus Russell in the top 10. Jamarcus Russell was fucking terrible. He's probably like top 2 worst quarterbacks all time.
Okay. I can respect that. Elijah, what you got on this, man?
To be real, I'm gonna agree. Simply because of the fact Jamarcus Russell pissed his opportunity away on his own. He did that shit to himself. He didn't care. He didn't take it seriously. It was a slap. It's a slap to the face of every person who gets up at 5 a.m., goes to the gym, bust their ass, do everything right, and still can't make a team. And this guy had everything handed to him, and he shitted on it by not taking it seriously. Yeah, so he's definitely worse to me because I feel like Josh Rosen just wasn't good. I was never sold him. I never liked him. I never thought he was good. Never thought he was going to be good. He just didn't have it. That can happen. But just a guy who studied the playbook. He was trying to do things the right way. You didn't hear no BS about him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with this one now.
I was going to say, the only thing I ever heard Rosen was when he got traded from the Cardinals to Miami. He was like, I'm going to make them regret that.
Okay.
Okay.
You got to let that go, Frank.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing he ever said, Josh Rosen. And then ever since then, I'm pretty sure he's just like, yeah, I'm fucking trash. I'm just going to ride the pine and get paid.
Sean, what you got on this, man?
I'm gonna have to agree with the other two on the Jamarcus Russell thing. No extra reasons added. They hit it all.
I mean, there really isn't much to say. I mean, dude, how do you think about the Raiders though? Because the next pick is Calvin Johnson, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Then Joe Thomas is in this draft. Calvin Johnson, like I said. Adrian Peterson's in this draft. There's a bunch of other dudes I'm missing, but I mean, those are 3 studs right there.
Oh yeah, that make him an even worse bust, right?
Terrible.
That's why he's like top 2 because it's not just him; it's the talent behind him that was taken significantly.
I know another quarterback you can compare him to, but I want to keep going with this. Speaking of Josh Rosen, though, Johnny Football. I just wanted to clear the name. Which coat?
We already
bitches and coat.
Hey, you do what you do with your money when you're Johnny Football.
Speaking
what
of
money
Josh
he got now?
2. His father's, oil business. Speaking of Josh Rosen, though, that 2018 quarterback class. Now we know what it is, but back then, they said it was one of the best. It could be one of the best draft classes, quarterback-wise, in the whole entire league. Which quarterback from that, first round between the 5? It was 5, right? The 5 quarterbacks. Do you think will have the best career now that we know 3 years later. Frankie?
I mean, I think this is a no-brainer. It's gonna be Josh Allen. He's shown the ability to take that next step. He does it with his arm more than anything because that's what a quarterback does. But yeah, I mean, I would say Josh Allen. He can do it with his legs too, but he only does that when he wants to. But it's Josh Allen, bro.
Okay, Elijah?
Typically I lean more towards MVPs, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go with, from what I see so far, overall arm talent. Winning does play a factor. The eye test, velocity on the ball. I really like the way Josh Allen throws the football. I just like it. I like it. And when he's on, when he hot, bro, come on, man. He'll go on these streaks and get in these pockets where he just completing pass after pass, driving the team downfield.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sean, I'm not gonna say mine because I'm pretty biased in this. Sean, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go next.
I'm as well going Josh Allen. He has not regressed since coming into the league. He's just up and up every year, looks better and better and better. He was pretty much underrated until this year, the way he started, when he was first in those MVP talks and then had like a couple of down games, and now he's kind of out. But yeah, for what Elijah said, the way that he could throw the ball, I feel like he's just way far ahead of everybody else. And plus, if he has to, he can do it with his legs, although he tends to fumble when he does do that. But outside of that, I mean, his organization pretty much backs him. He's actually been kind of blessed to the other guy we'll put right behind him, which is Baker. No changes or nothing since the whole time he's been there. So Baker could have been in the same shoes, facing the same circumstances, but I'm Josh Allen all the way.
Okay, real quick. Quarterback, the best quarterback of this incoming class. Who do you got? I got Justin Fields. Frankie?
Mac Jones.
Okay, Elijah?
I'm biased. Justin Fields.
Okay, I got that. Sean?
I got Fields.
3 Buckeyes. Bye. Hey, man. Hey, Mac Jones, back then they didn't
Mine's
Hey.
unbiased, though.
Hey.
I do like some of the other ones, but I got Fields.
Hey, and Mac Jones wasn't even my first choice. Honestly, I was going back and forth between him and Kyle Trask of Florida, who also was a stud.
Hey, I like all those, but Fields had to battle some adversity. Coming from Georgia, having to progress in a new system, everything like that, all adversity.
I can respect that, Frank.